Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those joining us for the first time, I'm responsible for identifying and analyzing digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and the market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our research and market events over the past week, here are some notable token price movements and what we think drove these moves. As a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. Well, guys, we are back after a bit of a hiatus there, and it has been pretty crazy the last several weeks. So just in the last few days, the DAT craze continues in the public market. We have also seen some other interesting news, including that Morgan Stanley is going to offer crypto trading through E-Trade as soon as early next year. And Tether, the largest stablecoin issuer, announced that they are raising $20 billion at a $500 billion valuation, probably making it one of the most valuable private companies out there. In addition to that, we finally got a rate cut for the first time last Wednesday, and the market has been all over the place since then. But as always, we're here to talk about the tokens, so I will get right in. First up, I'm going to talk about Sky, formerly known as MakerDAO. They're the decentralized finance project that issues the stablecoin, which again previously was called DAI. It is now called USDS. In the past few days, Sky activated what's called their delayed penalty upgrade feature. So if you're not familiar with Sky, they actually went through a big rebrand in the last year from the original MakerDAO name to everything is now being called Sky, and the ticker is changing from MKR to Sky. The part of the rebrand also included a redenomination and token swap. MakerDAO basically going from a much larger cost per token of MKR to a few cents for the Sky token. So the rebrand initially wasn't super well received, though, resulting in a really slow conversion of the projects of this governance token. However, starting Monday, there's a new mechanism on the token swap contract that essentially is going to penalize those who swap their MKR for Sky by deducting 1% of the value of those tokens. So instead of having a 1-for-1 swap, people are going to have that be more like 0.99 for 1. And the 1 to 0.99. And the penalty will also increase over time. Every 3 months, the penalty is going to go up 1%. So the idea being that it will incentivize people to swap their tokens finally. The swap is also a one-way swap. So once you swap from MKR to Sky, that's the end of your MKR tokens. So the feature, it was proposed in May, was formally voted through this past week. Prior to that proposal going up in May, only 12% of the MKR supply had converted to Sky. As of today, though, about 83% of Maker has completed the conversion. With this, though, Sky is down 14% for the week. Okay, next up, we got some kind of more juicy, interesting news here about Clanker, and it involves Rainbow Wallet. So this week, we probably saw what was considered an actual hostile crypto takeover between Clanker, a token launchpad on Base, and Rainbow Wallet. So Rainbow Wallet began this week with a bang. They announced that they were going to be launching their token with the ticker RNBW in Q4 of this year. This follows a 2-year points program that they ran, making it kind of one of the leading wallets. Very hard to decipher this, by the way, but based on kind of just general AUM and usage, they are up there along with MetaMask and Phantom. So after announcing that they're going to be launching their token, they then published an open letter to the Clanker community stating that they wanted to purchase Clanker outright. By purchasing 100% of the Clanker tokens in exchange for 4% of the future Rainbow token supply. So the Clanker token initially shot up like 47% on this news. Again, it's a very small market cap token, also not a ton of liquidity. So any small amount of activity can really push that higher. After this, though, Jack Dishman, the founder of Clanker, posted that Rainbow actually approached them a month ago with this same offer, and the team recently passed on the deal. According to Dishman, Rainbow threatened to make the offer public the next day, having rejected their private offer. Rainbow then has since stated that Clanker actually approached them with this deal and later ignored them when they tried to push the deal through. So whatever actually transpired, the Clanker token has been going up and down on this news. First up that 47% spike. It's now retraced a lot of those gains and has actually ended the week down 12%. Okay, so next up, Layer 0. So on Monday, Layer 0, the interoperability protocol, announced the buyback of 5% of the total Zero token supply. The tokens were initially purchased from early investors and not tied to the revenue of the project produced by the project. Layer 0, if you haven't been following them recently, they've been making a lot of moves, including the acquisition of Stargate Finance, a cross-chain bridge built on Layer 0, which was completed last month. The Zero token is up 13% this week. Okay, last but not least, we were talking about Aster. If you have not heard about it yet, it has been everywhere. So Aster is a new perpetual futures exchange that launched their token Aster this past week and has just seen a ton of growth since then. So the project actually launched their exchange back in March, and it is backed by YZI Labs, which is the VC arm of crypto exchange giant Binance. So while the token technically isn't brand new, it actually went through a swap from APX to the ASTER token. The swap is what kind of went live on, it looks like, the 19th. So along with the token swap, the exchange is offering very generous incentives to traders, which has catapulted the exchange and its token into notoriety, particularly as it seeks to unseat Hyperliquid, which we've talked a lot about here at the leading decentralized futures exchange for the past 2 years. So with this, just to give you context, so Hyperliquid has a $45 billion valuation. So anybody looking to kind of hit that, that's a huge potential upside for a lot of projects. Yesterday, particularly, Aster has really hit a new stride as they flipped Hyperliquid daily volumes. This will definitely be a project to watch as the perpetual futures exchange race heats up. Aster is up 305% this week. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed our insights. Tune in again here next week to hear what's driving token prices.